हेलो एवरीवन, आई एम अर्चना सिंह और आज के इस वीडियो लेक्चर में हम पढ़ेंगे ई एम फॉस्टर को। उनका पूरा नाम था एडवर्ड मॉर्गन फॉस्टर एंड वाज बोर्न इन लंदन ऑन द फर्स्ट डे ऑफ 1879। उनका जन्म हुआ था 1 जनवरी 1879 को लंदन में। वो ब्रिटिश नॉवलिस्ट थे, एसेइस्ट थे, सोशल एंड लिटरेरी क्रिटिक थे एंड मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल एडवर्डियन एरा इंग्लिश नॉवलिस्ट थे। Was also the member of Bloomsbury Group and he attained King's College, Cambridge. He declined a knighthood, which is one of the highest honors and individual in the United Kingdom. एक knighthood का honor दिया जा रहा था उनको, जो कि उन्होंने लेने से इनकार कर दिया, although it was the highest honor for an individual in the United Kingdom. अदर इम्पॉर्टेंट उनके बारे में जो बातें हैं वो है कि वो एक होमोसेक्सुअल थे और उन्होंने कभी शादी नहीं की। ही लिव्ड विथ हिज मदर फ्रॉम 1925 टिल शी डाइड एट द एज ऑफ 90 ऑन 11 मार्च 1945। वो शादी नहीं की और अपनी माँ के साथ ही रही जब तक कि उनकी माँ 90 साल की उम्र में चल बसी। और इन जनवरी 1946 फॉस्टर presented King's College, Cambridge, and his majority of life was spent in the college. अपनी माँ की मृत्यु के बाद वो किंग्स कॉलेज कैम्ब्रिज को रिप्रेजेंट किया, वहाँ पे वो उन्होंने काम किया और उनका जो ज़्यादा जीवन वहीं पे बीता। अदर इम्पॉर्टेंट जो बात है फॉस्टर की कि ही फेमसली विजिटेड द हिल केव्स ऑफ बैराबर। हिल केव्स ऑफ बैराबर को विजिट किया, स्पेशली द लोमस ऋषि केव। Lomas Rishi Cave located in the Jehanabad district of Bihar in the morning of 28 January 1913। ठीक है, तो लोमस ऋषि की केव को उन्होंने 28 जनवरी 1913 को विज़िट किया। वहाँ का केव जो है बैराबर केव है, वहाँ को विज़िट किया एंड ये जो उनका एक्सपीरियंस रहा उसको उन्होंने यूज़ किया अपने मैग्नम ओपस वर्क द पैसेज ऑफ इंडिया में, पैसेज ऑफ इंडिया, और इसका नाम क्या दिया, बैराबर केव, है ना। इस एक्सपीरियंस जो उन्होंने बैराबर केव का एक्सपीरियंस था एज ए फिक्शनल केव ऑफ बैराबर करके अपने वर्क पैसेज टू इंडिया में इसको यूज़ किया है। और उनके जो थीम्स थे नोवेल के, द थीम्स ऑफ हिज ऑलमोस्ट नोवेल इज ह्यूमन नेचर, human character from a deeply psychological perspective, from an unconventional and anti-Victorian perspective. Another theme is liberalism. Liberalism is also a central theme in much of Forster's work, and it is often presented as the solution to the many issues like those of class expectations. Now let's discuss some important works of E.M. Forster. The first work is Where Angel Fears to Tread, and the title is very important. We already know it. Where Angels Fear to Tread. Title has been taken from Alexander Pope's essay on criticism, and it was first novel, and it was partially inspired by time spent in Italy. It is the story of Lilia, a young widow who falls in love with an Italian man and of the effort of his bourgeois relative to get her back. तो ये जो स्टोरी है वेयर एंजल्स फियर्स टू ट्रेड, इसमें जो कैरेक्टर है लिलिया, वो एक विडो है, इंग्लिश विडो है, एंड सी फॉल्स इन लव विद एन इटालियन मैन, और उसके रिलेटिव जो है उसको वहाँ से वापस लाना चाहते हैं। और इसको ये इस वर्क में ये मोस्टली दिखाया जाता है। नेक्स्ट वर्क है द लॉन्गेस्ट जर्नी। ये सेमी ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल वर्क है और ये बिल्डिंग्स रोमन को फॉलो करता है। और यहाँ पे जो कैरेक्टर है रिकी एलियट, उसके करियर को उन्हें कैसे स्ट्रगल किया, राइटर बना, कैम्ब्रिज गया, देन फाइनली वो स्कूल मास्टर बना, उसके करियर को यहाँ पे दिखाते हैं। नेक्स्ट जो वर्क है वो है अ रूम विद द व्यू, which was published in 1908, and it is the second of Forster Italian novel and one of his best known works. Is social comedy that also contrasts Italian and English culture. The book explores the young Lucy Honeychurch's trip to Italy with her cousin. तो ये भी एक नॉवल है जो इटालियन बेस्ड है ना. Italy is the center of the novel, and the character is Lucy Honeychurch and her trip to Italy with her cousin, and now she must make a choice between the free-thinking George Emerson and a young man with a passionate desire for truth. And the repressed aesthete Cecil, who tries to authoritarian and manly but is actually awkward and self-conscious. तो यहाँ पे जो लूसी हनीचर्च है उसको यहाँ पे चूज करना होता है एज ए पार्टनर कि उसको किसको अपना पार्टनर बनाना है. एक जो है वो है जॉर्ज इमर्सन जो कि एक यंग मैन है और ट्रुथ सीकर है ना. एंड अनदर वॉज सेसिल जो कि वो दिखाता है कि वो बहुत अच्छा है बट एक्चुअली में वो ऑकवर्ड है और सेल्फ कॉन्शियस है. नेक्स्ट जो इम्पॉर्टेंट वर्क है ये फोस्टर का वो है द हॉवर्ड्स एंड जो कि 1910 में पब्लिश हुआ था और स्टार्ट विद द एपिग्राफ which is very important. The epigraph is only connect. And it means that connection matters in human relationship, and only connect shows that this connection lacking in the modern area, the area in which Edward Morgan M. Foster was living. So here only connect means that connection matters in human relationship. The setting of this novel was based on Hertfordshire, childhood home, Hertfordshire. It deals with contemporary class issues and novel concerned with different groups within the Edwardian middle class, represented by three families. यहाँ पे जो क्लास इश्यूज हैं एडवर्डियन मिडिल क्लास के बीच उसको दिखाया जा रहा है और उसको एक थ्री फैमिलीज को लेके दिखाते हैं इस वर्क में. कौन कौन से थ्री फैमिलीज हैं? एक स्लेगल्स हैं जो कि बोहेमियन इंटेलेक्चुअल्स हैं, जर्मन सिबलिंग्स हैं. स्लेगल्स जो हैं जर्मन सिबलिंग्स हैं और they are intellectuals. They are like the members of Bloomsbury group, very intellectual and artistic. The other family, the second family in this age, the Wilcox. Wilcox are very rich people. They are aristocrat. And another family is Bast. Bast are struggling lower middle class family. Now story proceeds when one of the Schlegel's sister getting married to Henry Wilcox. स्टोरी शुरू होती है जब एक जो सिस्टर होती है स्लेगल्स की वो शादी कर लेती है हेनरी विलकॉक्स से. एंड व्हेन हिज वाइफ डाइज, हेनरी विलकॉक्स से शादी कर लेती है स्लेगल्स की सिस्टर जब उसकी वाइफ की मृत्यु हो जाती है. एंड अनदर स्लेगल सिस्टर हैविंग अ चाइल्ड विथ लियोनार्ड बास्ट, अ वर्किंग क्लास मैन. Okay. Another Schlegel sister having a child with Leonard Bast, a working class man. The child of this working class rule on Howard's End. In future, the child of this working class man rule on Howard's End, which is a sign of aristocracy. Now, the Howard's End was owned by Mrs. Wilcox. So the novel also shows that the decline of aristocracy and the future rule of working class. The magnum opus work of E.M. Forster is The Passage of India, which was published in 1924, and the novel is set in the Indian city of Chandrapur. And a common theme throughout the Passage to India is the struggle of British and Indian character to interact and understand each other. Okay, connection problem is the central theme of this work, that how Indian and Britishers are struggling to connect, interact each other, understand each other. The novel takes as its subject the relationship between East and West, seen through the lens of India in the latter days of the British Raj. It was last published novel by E.M. Forster. The main characters are Dr. Aziz, Mrs. Moore, Adela Quist. The next important work by E.M. Forster is Maurice, and it is a controversial novel, and it was a homosexual love story that could not be published until 1971. It means it was published posthumously. It was published after the death of E.M. Forster. Foster diary records his interaction with a young man he was tutoring, Saeed Ross Masood, and it is thought that he was in love with this man, Saeed Ross Masood, and Foster was homosexual but kept this quiet. Had a relationship with a policeman also named Robert Joseph Buckingham. In 1960, Foster appeared as a witness for the defense in the trial for D.H. Lawrence's suppressed novel, Lady Chatterley Lover. So, this novel was banned because it was obscene. So, A.M. Foster appeared as a witness for the defense in the trial for D.H. Lawrence's novel, Lady Chatterley Lover. He traveled throughout Italy and Australia, and this theme of traveling would be very important in Foster's life. He wrote numerous short stories, essays, speeches, and critical works. He also co-authored the opera Billy Budd, 1951, and another important work, a critical work aspect of novel, is a book based on a series of lectures delivered by E.M. Forster at Trinity College, Cambridge in 1927, in which he discussed the English language novel. Here, Forster talked about the flat and round character. Flat and round character. By using example from classic text, he highlights what he sees as the seven universal aspects of the novel, which he defined as story, character, plot, fantasy, prophecy, pattern, and rhyme. He wrote also a short story collection. Avenger Harvest is a 1936 non-fictional book. The book is a mixture of autobiographical writing and a literary criticism, along with essays and poems. The Celestial Omnibus and the stories, other stories, is the title of a collection of short stories first appeared in 1911, and the Eternal Moment 1928 is a collection of short stories. E.M. Foster died on July 7, 1970, and his novel shows interest in personal relationship, as we have seen uh, when we go through his work, and the obstacles in the last 46 years of his life. Thank you.